Hey y'all, happy Saturday and welcome to our first training in the Balanced Millennial. We are going to be talking about new habits, who is revealing 3 essential steps to get out of the procrastination loop. The reason why I created this training was because I noticed that when I am working with clients, the biggest issue that clients are having is the fact that they cannot get out of the procrastination loop. You cannot get out of this habit of saying that you'll do it later. So that is the reason why I created this training. And then I'm just going to give everybody a moment. Also, this is my first time screen sharing on a live, so we've been to figure this out together. I'm just scrolling through here, making sure I'm not missing anything. And then I am going to get started. We are going to keep this thing rolling. Oh, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Yeah, my bad. We're just going to present. All right, so can we get a testimony? I like to start with testimonies because I do this. I am who I say I am. I am who I post to be. So our first testimony comes from one of my previous clients, Canario. So shout out to Premier Personal Growth Firm, my life coach and therapy. I know next year would be so different. Make sure you book your free consult with Keandra Shea so she can help with tools to reframe your mindset if therapy is not an option or not enough. So not only do kids need villages, but adults as well. Find yours. I love this testimony because I'm very big on creating a village, not for just the kids, but for the adults. A village should not just be for your children. You should have a village as well. It can be the same village as your children or a different village. Either way, you deserve to have a village. Our next testimony, I look forward to our meetings because I know I get a clearer look on things. I am very big on making sure that you leave every single meeting with clarity. You leave every single session knowing why you had this session today, what this session brought you today, and what you need to do next. Also, the next one is from another past client, Kendra. So, shout out to my dope and inspiring life coach. She helped me get into more self awareness and intentional holistic healing. Internally grateful for this beautiful soul. Y'all love Kendra. Kendra's one of my favorites. Love Kendra. And I'm very, very big on self awareness. It's funny because I actually saw a video on TikTok the other day, and the video was talking about how none of the personal growth books or personal growth um, techniques focus on trusting yourself, knowing yourself, loving yourself. And that is where I start. In all of my programming and anything that I do, that's where I start. Because you can have every technique in the world. You got to see it like this. All these techniques are Googleable. I think I made that up. But either way, they are Googleable. So all these techniques are Googleable. So if that's the case, why aren't more people able to be more productive? Why aren't people better at managing their time, better at sticking to routines, sticking to habits, and sticking to resolutions? It's because they don't have that self awareness. A lot of these programs, a lot of these books do not go into the self first. It's solely focused on the activity of what you need to do. Also, if you have any questions, make sure you drop them and I will definitely answer them. I can't see that. As a matter of fact, maybe I need to join from my phone so that way I can see any comments and things like that. Let me do that now. Because since I'm sharing on my screen, I cannot see comments and things. So I'm going to join on my phone. Okay. Yep. All right. Got it on my phone. We're good to go.
Mama, I'll put my clothes on.
And what did I tell you I was doing right now?
I'm trying.
Okay, so that means you have to wait. All right, so if you are here and in this training, then you should get excited if you're a busy millennial who struggles to implement boundaries in your personal and your professional life. One of the biggest reasons why it's hard to stick to routines, habits, resolutions is because you don't have boundaries. You will tell yourself that you are going to work out 3 days a week, but on that Tuesday you schedule yourself to work out, your homegirl hit you up saying that she needs a vent, and now you're not at the gym. No boundaries. You're a millennial who has finally achieved a sense of success in your life, but work always comes first, so your priorities are all out of whack. If work is your number one priority, you're in the wrong mindset, but you're in the right place here. So you want to do less but better and are tired of outdated productivity hacks. One of the things that I am really, really big on is focusing on your focus. I am not someone who believes that you need to be doing more in order to be productive. I believe that you should be doing less, but you should be doing better at what you're doing. Also, you want to challenge the norm of hustle culture so you can prioritize your well being more. Hustle culture, the matrix, all of that wants you to believe that if you're not being productive, you should not be part of society. If you are not making more money for a corporation that's already wealthy, you shouldn't be part of society. If you are not standing in line and doing everything else that everybody else is doing, then you should be not part of society. And if you are someone who doesn't believe in those things, then you are in the right spot. Now, peace out if you are looking for an instant solution to create healthier routines and habits. There is no instant solution. It takes work. It takes work. It's funny because I love TikTok, y'all. I love TikTok. Follow me on TikTok if you don't, at Keandra Ware. But I love TikTok. And I saw a video recently where the guy said that there is no easy way there's no easy way to do it. There's no easy way to do it. If you're going to do it, it's going to take work. It's going to be hard sometimes because you got to think that when you're trying to do something you've never done, you have to create a person that you've never seen. You have to become a person you've never been. That's not easy. That is the one of the hardest tasks that you probably ever do in your life. So peace out if you love doing all the things and don't want to set priorities and boundaries. If you're someone who loves being a jack of all trades and you love to fill up your time doing all the things, this is probably not going to be the training for you. Peace out if you are content with your current mindset and habits and have no desire to implement impactful changes. If you are in the mindset already that this is not going to work and um, you're not really going to learn anything, then it's probably not the place for you. So you intend to watch this entire training for free, but get upset when I share a chance to invest in a program that will help guide you to stick to new habits. Yeah, I'm going to offer a program at the end of this training. I am. It is what it is. This is what I do. I love what I do. I no longer do what I do for free outside of certain events that I'm willing to donate charity hours and things like that for. But you get this free training, and there's actually solutions provided in this free training. So this is not one of those trainings where you have to buy the program to get the solution. This is a training where you will get the solution in this training, but I will also be sharing my program because my program is amazing. Can't lie to you. So why am I doing this? Why did I create this training? Why did I create this group? Why is this important to me? So hustle culture can end with us. We are at this point, we'll make up about 75% of corporate America this year, within between this year and next year, because you got to think the boomers are going out. The boomers are on their way out. They are getting too old. They're retiring. They are on their way out. So most of corporate America is going to be made up of millennials, which means hustle culture can end with us. We can tell these companies and these corporations, and we can make them prioritize our wellness within their packages that they're offering us because we are the ones accepting the jobs. We are the ones that set the boundaries and set the limitations and set the requirements for what we accept before we accept your job. If you go into that interview and them folks talking about, oh, we're a family, red flag. If you go into that interview And them folks talking about, oh, we love someone who can give their all and dedicate all their time to work, red flag. We are the generation that is going to end all of that. We can be that. We can be the generation that's going to end all that. Also, capitalism is kicking our ass, y'all. Capitalism is kicking our ass. Consumerism is kicking our ass. There is no reason why rent should be $1,500-$1,600 to stay in a neighborhood that's not even safe. $1,500-$1,600 for a 1-2 bedroom apartment. $1,500-$1,600 for $1,500-$1,600 to stay in a place that doesn't really provide any real amenities, no real safety, no real security. It's just a hot mess. The price of everything is going up except for wages, you know? They're not trying to pay more, but they want you to do more work. It's kicking our ass, and we are the ones that have the power to change these things. Also, our view of success has drastically changed. When we were growing up, our parents told us all, go to school, get a good job, have a family, do the thing. We are not a generation that prioritizes that anymore. We are more so focused on what is going to make us feel fulfilled at the end of the day. I feel like in the past, our parents come from generations where they didn't have as much access as we did. They didn't have as much connection as we did. They had to do a lot of things on their own. We don't have that lifestyle. We can easily, at the tip of a finger, ask a question on Facebook and get answers, and get resources. We can tweet and get answers and resources. We can make a TikTok and get answers and resources. Like, everything's at the tip of our fingers. So it's like our success for us looks different. Like, success for us is being able to work a job where we're actually making an impact without burning out. Success for us is being able to come home and still have energy for our kids. Success for us is being able to travel 2, 3, 4 times a year, once a quarter, ideally. That is what success looks like for us. Whereas in the past, success was simply getting a degree, getting a good job, having a husband, wife, having the kids, having the house, having the white picket fence. That's not what success looks like for us anymore. Also, I'm a mom. Y'all look at my rich best friend who's about to be 5 and going to kindergarten, and oh my god, it's too much. But I am a mom. Like, it's so important that I help other moms understand that who they are as a mother is not the only part of their personality. You are still able to go out and live a fulfilling life even though you're a mom. It doesn't have to be this end all be all. Like, I'm a mom now. Every decision I make only prioritizes my child. I don't believe in that. Also, I gave up teaching in 2022 because I was so overwhelmed and burned out in the matrix, y'all. Getting up every single day at like 6 o'clock, 6:15, getting rich to school by like 6:45, 7 o'clock. I'm having to get to work by like 7:45, late every day because I'm in traffic. And I just got tired of that cycle. I got tired of that cycle. I got tired of just always being exhausted. And so I gave up teaching in 2022 and decided that I was going to go on this journey and find a way to work a job that was fulfilling and paid enough, because when I was teaching I was making 38K. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. And then it was actually teaching was actually my dream job as a kid. And so one of the reasons why I love doing trainings, because although I stopped teaching, like that's not no longer my job, in my business I still get to teach. And I love teaching people new things. I love, even when I was teaching kindergarten and first grade. So I love seeing their face light up when something clicked. Same thing when I'm working with adults. Like, I love teaching adults how their brain works. I love teaching adults why they have certain habits. I love when I can help people connect the pieces that they've been missing for them to have clarity. And so it's like I still get to do my dream job while doing this, because I did. As a kid, like in elementary school, I was helping the teacher grade papers. I was that kid. I was a teacher's pet. And so It's always been a passion of mine to teach people, to educate people. I do believe that education is a priority. It should be the most important thing. The biggest focus that you have is just educating yourself about anything going on in your life. You need to be the smartest person. You need to be the expert of you. Nobody should be able to come into your life and educate you about you outside of an expert, of course, outside of someone who's a coach or a therapist. But that's I feel like that's how you get into these unhealthy cycles and relationships with people. Is because you are not the expert on yourself. So that gives people space to come in and tell you about yourself and dictate who you are. We're not going for none of that in 2024. We are not going for that in 2024. So did you know that almost half of all New Year's goals are abandoned by February? So I did a little search because I really wanted to know, like, how many people are quitting their goals. I know it was a big number, but I honestly was not expecting it to be 50%. Like, almost 50% of people quit their New Year's resolution by the end of January. And only 9% of people actually complete their resolution. So that means throughout the year, only 9% of people are saying, yep, I set that resolution and I completed it. So why so many quitters? Why so many quitters? Is it a state of mind? So this is what I believe why there are so many quitters. And if you're struggling with this too, then you're definitely in the right spot. So believing that you can just do it later. It's so easy to just end up quitting. If every single time you have the time to do the steps to achieve the goal, you just say you're going to do it later. Later becomes April. Later becomes September. Later becomes December. Later becomes 2025. And then that means by you set that goal in January and then a year later nothing has still happened. You quit. You quit, let's be honest, it's quitting. You may be confusing motivation with discipline. Motivation and discipline are not the same thing. Motivation is a fleeting feeling. It is a fleeting feeling. It is simply that. Motivation is a feeling, and as we know, feelings come and go. Feelings come and go. So if you are relying on solely being motivated to get something done, you're never going to get it done. Whereas discipline is the intentional decision to do it no matter what. To do it in a bad mood. To do it when you're upset. To do it when someone else presents an opportunity that sounds more fun. Even this, I could have decided today that, oh, I don't really feel like doing that. I don't really feel like doing this training. It's raining. I really just want to lay in bed all day and relax. This was kind of a hard week for me. Whereas discipline said, no, girl, you said you was on this training at 11. You finna get your ass up and do this training. Okay? You prepared for this training. You created this lovely slide deck for this training. You are about to get up and do this training. That is discipline. That is discipline. Also, going with the flow. Now, I am a flowy girl, okay? I am very much a flowy, love going with the flow. But I feel like going with the flow is only good if you already disciplined. If you're not someone who's disciplined, you don't need to be going with the flow. You need to be following your plan to the T. Because if you're going with the flow, um, if you're going with the flow but you don't already have discipline, all that's going to happen is that you're going to attribute certain things that don't happen with going with the flow. Let's say that we use the gym example. Let's say that you are going to the gym 3 times a week. That's your goal. I'm going to the gym 3 times a week, which is very realistic. Well, realistic if that fits your schedule. But if you're going with the flow, what will happen is on a rainy day like today, you'll be like, it's kind of raining outside, and I really don't really want my hair, and I really don't want to go outside and get my hair all wet and frizzy, and it's just gonna be too much going on at the gym and yada yada yada. So I'm not going today. It's okay. I'm just I'm gonna flow through the day. So really, you just quit. Already on week 1, week 2, week 3 of you saying you're gonna go to the gym 3 times this week, you already quit. because you have attributed going with the flow with not being disciplined. Also, going too big too early. Going too big too early. If you have never worked out in your life, why would you say that you're gonna work out 6 days a week? If you have never been to the gym in your life, why do you think you're gonna go to the gym 5 days a week? If you have never cooked a meal from scratch, why do you think you're gonna cook a meal from scratch 3, 4 times a week? You have to make sure that you are being realistic and starting small when you are setting resolutions and setting goals and trying to incorporate new habits, because if you don't and you go too big, you're going to feel overwhelmed, you're going to feel defeated, you're going to feel like this is not something that you can achieve, or it's like it is something you can achieve. You just have to start small. You have to start at a level that makes more sense. A really good example of starting small is that for me, I was like, I need to stop drinking coffee and tea just straight from the cup. I need to start putting straws in my coffee and tea. And that's something very small. That's a very small thing. And all I had to do was buy the coffee straws, make sure the coffee straws are next to my coffee stuff. And now I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, grab the straw, put the straw in there. So now I don't think I ever drink coffee or tea straight now without a straw, because I've done it so many times and it was such a small habit to start that now it's like that's what I do. Another one is fear of success. A lot of people think that fear of failure is what keeps them stuck, but really it's a fear of success. Really, it's a fear that this shit gonna happen. I'm really gonna do this. I really have been to the gym 3 times a week for the last 3 months. Like, my body really is tea now. Like, I really am wearing clothes that I never thought I was gonna be able to wear. And sometimes that scares people. And we're gonna talk about that more later in the training as well. And I'm gonna pause real quick. I'm gonna come off of my phone, and I'm gonna go live on TikTok. So give me one moment. All right, so if you're tired of caring more about hustle culture than your own well being, then you are in the right place. Also, if you try to start new habits, new routines, but end up falling off from your routines in less than a week, you in the right place. So why is there such a large gap between people who follow through and those who give up? So like we talked about before, only about 9% of people are following through and sticking to their New Year's resolution all the way through to the end of the year. Whereas about half of the people who start a New Year's resolution are quitting their New Year's resolution by February. So why is there such a big gap between the 10% of people who actually complete their New Year's resolution every year and the 50% of people who have given up by February? This don't even count the people who are giving up by March, April, May, June. So, whew. Can only imagine. So it's because they were never taught the CRR path. They were never taught the CRR path. So that's the reason why it has been so easy for them to give up on their resolution in the first month. Because it's like, it's easy to set a resolution. It's hard to stick to it when you have no idea how to. So what is the CRR path? So the CRR path is a transformative 3-step journey. It trains your brain and your body to not only create new habits, but stick to them and maintain them. So let's get into it. We're finna get right into it. If you TikTok, I'm actually doing this in my Facebook group called the Balanced Millennial. If you want to jump on over there and join what the presentation is showing, definitely do that. Again, it's called The Balanced Millennial. You can join that on Facebook. But we're going to get started. So if you're just joining me on TikTok, go ahead, grab paper, pen, all that. Go ahead and have a habit in mind that you want to start, because I'm going to walk you through the steps to create new habits and stick to new habits. All right, so the first step is to cue your brain. Again, we're talking about the CRR path. So you need to cue your brain. You would choose a trigger that will alert your brain to start the new habit. So this is super, super, super duper important. Sorry, TikTok. This is super duper important because your brain is waiting for you to alert it of what to do. Your brain is waiting for you to alert it to what to do. When you have a trigger that is unpleasant, procrastination happens. So let's say that you have a presentation due at work, you have a slide deck due at work, you have, maybe you're a teacher, you have lesson plans due at work, because like I said before, I used to teach, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all, them lesson plans was always on time and it was always nice, so I'm pretty good with that. So let's say you have lesson plans due at work, you have all these things due. So when your brain gets that trigger that this lesson plan is due, this slide deck is due, this presentation is due, this paper is due, procrastination happens because your brain senses that as an unpleasant trigger. So anytime your brain feels an unpleasant trigger, your brain goes into protection mode. It's like, oh no, we don't want you to feel unpleasant. We don't want you to feel unpleasant. We want you to feel good. We want that dopamine flowing through your body. So if you don't want to do that goddamn presentation, you don't want to do that slide deck, you don't want to do none of that shit, don't do it. Don't do it. But please understand that your brain does not understand the fact that this still has to get done whether you procrastinate or not. So that's when we start talking about the limbic system of the brain, because the limbic system of the brain is on auto mode. So that is a part of your brain that recognizes that you have a unpleasant trigger, and then it decides that you just shouldn't do it then. Like, no, don't do that then, because why would you do that if it's unpleasant? If you're not going to enjoy it, why would you do it? That's what the limbic system of your brain is going to be telling you. What we are working on is the prefrontal cortex. So that's going to be the part of your brain, when you can't think of something and you're just like tapping. You're tapping up there because that's the part of your brain that's not on auto mode. That part of your brain is actively waiting on you to tell it what to do. It's actively waiting on you to say, go do the lesson plan. It's actively waiting on you to tell it what to do. So when you're not consciously making decisions, when you're always letting that unpleasant trigger put you into auto mode, then what happens is your limbic system is going to keep taking over and your body's going to keep going into auto mode. Whereas in this, what I'm teaching you now is teaching you how to get out of auto mode. It's teaching you how to get your brain out of auto mode and put it in a place where you are telling your brain what to do and not the other way around. So that is why step 1 of this is the cue. What are you going to choose to tell your brain to start this new habit? Again, we're going to use my example of coffee. So for me, I wanted to stop drinking coffee, tea, things like that straight because it stains your teeth, of course. And so for me, I wanted to make sure that I'm only drinking coffee and tea with the straw, because when you're drinking coffee and tea with the straw, it literally is like bypassing your teeth. It's no longer being switched around. It's like you're drinking it straight to go to your throat. Yeah. And so for me, my cue, my trigger that alerted my brain to start this new habit was the fact that I put the coffee straws right next to the coffee stuff. So it's like the sugar's right there, the creamer, the spoons, all that stuff, the Keurig, all that stuff is right there in one area. So are my coffee straws. So it's like that is my cue. It's like I'm seeing the coffee straws in front of me. That is the trigger for my brain to say use the coffee straw. Put the coffee straw in your cup. Don't drink off that. Don't drink that coffee straight. Put the straw in your cup. So you want to do the same thing with whatever habit you're trying to start. I love the fitness habits. I love gym. I work out a lot, so I love that. So let's say you're trying to trigger your brain into going to the gym. That is what you want to do. So when you're choosing a trigger that will alert your brain, I think for me, what it was, because I started working out consistently some years ago, but it was 2022, I believe. I think it was 2022 where it was like, no, this is about to be part of my lifestyle. This is not just going to be something I do for a few months and then don't do for a couple months and then do for a few months. No, this is about to be part of my lifestyle. So my trigger for my brain was for me to set a time. Like at this time, I'm going to the gym. So for me, I was teaching at that time. Also, this was 2021 then because I quit teaching in 2022. So 2021. And so for me, that was my trigger. I know that when I get off work, I'm going straight to the gym. So my brain knows that when I get in this car, instead of going home, which is what I would normally do, or instead of going to pick up Rich, which is what I would normally do, I'm going straight to the gym. That is the cue, that is the trigger that alerted my brain to do this habit. Was once you get in the car, go to the gym. And then there was a gym, I was going to Planet Fitness at the time. And so, you can go to any Planet Fitness once you have that kind of membership. And so there was a Planet Fitness up the street. So that was even more convenient is the fact that instead of having to come which I still would sometimes, but instead of having to come all the way home and go to the gym by where I live, I could just go 15 minutes up the road and go to the gym. Both were convenient for me. So you're going to have to choose a trigger that will alert your brain to start this new habit. This is going to help you get out of autopilot. This is going to help you stop your limbic system from controlling your habits and controlling your routines. This means that this gives you the power back to make conscious choices. This gives you the power back to make conscious choices because when you are in that, like again, when you're in that limbic system, when your limbic system is in control, you're not making conscious choices. Your body is just doing whatever it's going to do to protect you. If you decide that you're going to go to the gym 3 times a week, but you're not motivated in this moment to go to the gym, your limbic system is just going to be like, okay, well, go home. You don't feel like doing it, so then don't. Go home, cool. Like your limbic system don't give a damn about all that. Your limbic system is only focused on protecting you, and then in autopilot mode. So even when you're thinking about your limbic system, think about automatic responses, automatic reactions, things that are just happening without you actually thinking about them. So even something as simple as if you're close to something that's hot, your automatic response is going to be to back up. That's your limbic system protecting you. Whereas if you're thinking prefrontal, if you're using your prefrontal cortex, you're going to be thinking like, I'm near something hot. It's not too hot to where I can't stand by it. I wonder what's like your brain is going to be processing what's happening. Whereas when the limbic system is in control, your brain is not processing what happened. Your brain senses danger and wants to get you out of danger. So that is why in step 1, you need to cue your brain. You need to figure out what trigger is going to alert your brain to start that new habit. And then this is not a perfect science in the sense of like, once you choose that trigger, it's going to work every single time. This is going to be something that you are going to have to practice and do over and over again until it's normal to you. Again, with the coffee thing, I literally don't drink coffee and tea without a straw now. Like, I don't. Because even like when I go like racetrack or I get something from racetrack, I'm still grabbing a straw and putting that straw in my cup because now this is a habit of mine. It's no longer a habit I'm trying to create. It is a habit. So that is part 1 of the CRR path. You need to choose a trigger that will alert your brain to start the new habit. Step two is going to be your routine. Step two is going to be your routines. Again, we're going over the CRR path. The first one is Q. The first one is Q. The next one is routine. So you want to start with small actions consistently over complete life changes with perfection. Again, if you have never been to the gym a day in your life, why do you think you're going to go to the gym 6 days this week? You're not. You want to start with small actions consistently. That means that you're going to tell yourself you're going to go to the gym 2 days a week. Until you consistently do 2 days a week, you shouldn't add more days. You shouldn't add more days. And also, when it comes to your routines and starting small, you want to prepare yourself for whatever that routine that you're trying to implement. If your routine is going to the gym 2 days a week, make sure your gym bag is in your car. Make sure there is no blockages that's going to stop you from actually committing to and doing this routine. And again, start small. You want to build your confidence with this routine. You don't want to get so stuck into trying to perfect the routine early on that you feel defeated, that you feel overwhelmed, that you feel like you can't do the shit. Because you can do it, you're just starting way too big. You need to make sure that your routine makes sense for your schedule. It actually fits who you are as a person. And that you start small, because when you start small and you do it consistently, it feels good to your body. That's when that dopamine starts hitting. And it's like, I want to go to the gym because I like how my body feels when I leave the gym. I want to go to the gym because I like that I have been able to stick to something I said I was going to do. That's empowering. That makes you feel stronger internally and externally because you're working out. So step two is the CRR path, is that your routine. You need to make, and then again, make sure that you are removing blockages for whatever this routine is. If you want to go to the gym 2 days a week, make sure your gym bag is in the car. Make sure your gym bag is in the car. That's also a really good cue. Is that it's like when you get up in the morning, that's going to be a cue. Let me make sure my gym bag is in the car. That's going to help you stick to that routine because you've prepared yourself to do that. Because if you don't make sure your gym bag is in the car, all that's going to happen is you're going to go home and then not go to the gym, because now it's like, well, I'm home now. Like, ain't no point in me leaving the house now. When that shouldn't be the case. What actually should be happening is that you should be preparing yourself to actually achieve whatever that habit routine is. You should be preparing yourself ahead of time. So that is the second step, is your routine. Making sure that your routine is small, starting with small actions, do it consistently, giving yourself grace, giving yourself compassion, understanding that if you do too much at one time, you're going to be overwhelmed. You're going to feel defeated. You're not going to have that drive, that motivation to really keep going. And that's the whole point, is that you want to start small so that way your body starts getting that excitement, again, that dopamine rush of, damn, I said I was going to the gym 2 days a week. I've done that for 2 weeks straight. This shit feels good. I'm accomplished. I'm a gym rat now. Can't nobody talk to me. So yeah, that's step two. Step three, reward yourself. You need to attach a reward to the habit so your brain wants to complete the action again. So y'all, there are two things that drive our action. Two things that drive our action. It is necessities or pain. Necessities, pain. So necessities like food, water, pain. Like, again, we talked about how if you're too close to fire, your body is going to instantly make you get away from the fire. If you're too close to danger, your body is going to instantly try to find a way to bring you to safety. If you're hungry, your body's going to be like, okay, well, it's time to eat. Like, these are necessities. The other one is rewards. Your brain has a reward system already set up in it. Your brain has a reward system already set up in it. So when you feel rewards, that dopamine is rushing through your body. It's rushing through your body, and then it's activated when you expect a reward. So it's not necessarily the fact that you're rewarding yourself that is creating this dopamine rush. It's the fact that you're expecting a reward. So let's say that, again, 2 times a week, you're going to the gym. After that first week of going to the gym twice, you should already have reward prepared, because your brain is like, oh, I can't wait to get that reward. Let me go to the gym. Ooh, I can't. Ooh, it's going to feel so good when I get to, I don't know, your reward could be something like, A spa day, going out to eat at a place you don't normally eat. Uh, excuse me. Going to a place out to eat that you don't normally eat. It could be binge watching a show. Like maybe you restrict certain things during the week that now you can give yourself on the weekend. Rewards can be endless because rewards should be personalized and tailored to you. So when your body is anticipating that reward, you're more likely to commit to and do the habit because your body is excited. Your body is giving you that dopamine rush for doing what you said you were going to do because it knows that once you do what you said you're going to do, you get a reward. You get a reward. This also enhances your memory. What happens is your body recognizes that when you commit to this habit, when you commit to whatever this goal is, when you're sticking to it, your body recognizes that, ooh, I'm gonna get a reward. Like, oh, I gotta go to the gym. And then it's like for me, working out gives me a different reward now. It's like I had my son 5 years ago. And when I went to the hospital to have him, I was 210 pounds, y'all. Never been. I'm 5'3". Let's start there. I'm 5'3". I was 210 pounds when I went to the hospital to have him. And working out for me gives me a dopamine rush because that was a body I had never seen before. And I've been able to transform my body over the years from working out. That's the dopamine rush I get when I put on certain clothes and I'm like, ooh, girl, you finna kill him tonight. So that's the dopamine rush that I'm getting. And then over time, you'll learn your own specific dopamine rushes, but you're not going to learn them if you don't stick to the habit. You're not going to learn what makes you want to stick to habits if you never stick to a habit. Um, and then again, it's not the reward itself that is creating this dopamine rush. It's just the fact that your body's expecting the reward. It's the expectation. Like think about if you have you're going on a date this weekend with somebody that you really like, you really enjoy them, you're really having a good time with them, and the date is on Saturday, but it's Tuesday. So it's like you're having a good week all week long solely because you know that on Saturday you're about to go spend time with somebody you really, really enjoy. So it's not even the fact that it's not even the fact that it's happening, it's the expectation that you're so excited about. It's the expectation that this is going to occur that makes your body want to do this, makes your body feel good about doing this. So make sure you are attaching a reward to the habit so that your brain wants to do it again and again and again. Because again, this becomes part of your memory. It becomes part of your synapses. This is how your neurons are going to fire now because you have committed to this habit. You have added all these rewards based on your habit. Your body knows it's going to be rewarded. And so you need to be making sure that you attach that reward and then do the habit. Let your body get that real natural dopamine, not that dopamine we get from social media, because that's fake. Not the dopamine that we get from having false interactions with strangers or all of that stuff. Not the dopamine you get from porn. All of that stuff is fake. We're talking about real dopamine, real natural things that are better for your body and better for your mental health and better for your well-being. So here are some key takeaways. So motivation versus discipline. So don't confuse motivation with discipline. Motivation is a fleeting emotion, whereas discipline keeps your eyes on the prize. Ooh, so many typos right there. Y'all excuse me in the Facebook group looking at all these typos. Oh, sorry, y'all. But don't confuse motivation with discipline. It's not the same thing. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is the act of committing and doing what you said you was going to do no matter what. Slow and steady. So slow and steady wins the race. I'm a big advocate of this. There are times in the past where I beat myself up because I'm like, I should be doing more. I should be, I should have more clients. I should be doing, and it's like really going at this pace, going at a slower, steadier pace has been way better for my nervous system than when I was constantly trying to launch, than when I was constantly trying to get clients, when I was constantly like trying to do things that I see other coaches doing. So you got to ease yourself into new routines and give yourself more grace because this is your path, your life, and once you start comparing it to someone else and once you start feeling like you need to be where somebody else is at, It's going to mess up your path. It's going to mess up your blessings along your journey. And then join the 9%. Again, remember, only 9% of people actually achieve their New Year's resolutions. Only 9, as y'all can see, sorry Facebook. Clearly, I did not go back in and edit this slide. These typos are driving me nuts. I'm glad TikTok can't see this. But join the 9% of people who actually achieve their goals. You don't want to be part of the 50% of people, almost 50% of people who give up their goals before February even starts. You want to be part of the 9%. You want to be part of the people who are committing to their goals, because those are the people that are changing their lives. If you can't commit to a habit, a routine that's healthier for you, that's healthier for your well-being, that's healthier for your mindset, then you're not going to change your life. And it's simple as that. You're going to keep doing the same things over and over again. Your limbic system is going to keep being the part that's in control. It's going to keep protecting you. It's going to keep moving unconsciously for you, because that's where you're most comfortable in. And then a few more tips. So if your procrastination wins more than loses, so every time you tell yourself that you'll just do it later, you add more and more tasks for you to do later. So every single time you're like, oh, I'll just do it later. If you said that about 5 things today, you know that now 5 things have to be done later, right? Whereas if you did 3 things today and said, I'm going to do the other 2 things later, now only 2 things are pushed off. That's much better than 5. So this is going to leave you in a constant cycle of overwhelm and defeat, because when you're pushing off things that you can do today, the shit that you got to do tomorrow still got to get done. So now that you've pushed off today to tomorrow, now you got to add to today to tomorrow, and you got to add Wednesday to Thursday, then you got to add Monday through Thursday to Friday. Why? Why put yourself in that cycle of constant overwhelm and defeat? So the flow has flown. You keep going with the flow and accepting whatever the universe throws at you. This has caused you to miss out on so many opportunities to level up, and it makes you feel constantly behind. When you are overusing the go with the flow thing, you're just missing out on stuff. You're operating your limbic system too much. You're operating on auto control too much. You need to be making conscious decisions throughout your day. You need to be aware of what's going on around you throughout your day. You cannot stay in autopilot and change your life. You cannot stay in autopilot and create new habits. It's not going to happen. So success actually scares the hell out of you. So a lot of people focus on the fear of failure, when in reality, the fear of success is what keeps you in the same routines with the same people. You are terrified about the people you have to leave behind, about the person you have to become to keep the success. That scares you more than failing, because failure is easy. It's easy to fail. You can simply say you're going to do something and not do that shit. You failed. That's failure. Whereas success actually requires you to leave people behind that you love. Success requires you to turn into somebody you've never been in order to keep the success, in order to have more success. And that scares people more than failure. Because again, people can swear up and down they're scared of failure, but they fail every day. So you're not scared of failure. You're doing it consistently. If you're telling yourself you're going to commit to a new habit and then you just don't, that's failure. So how are you scared of it if you keep doing it? You're not succeeding. You're scared of that. You're scared of what's actually going to come with the success. You're scared of the conversations you're going to have with the success. You're scared of the new rooms you're going to enter, because when you enter these new rooms, you have to enter them confidently. It don't matter who in this room. You could be the only thousandaire in this room, and it could be millionaires in here. You still have to enter this room with confidence, and that scares you. So people have to stop getting out of this mindset of that they're scared of failure when they fail all the time. You're not scared of failure, because if you were scared of failure, you would stop failing. You're scared of succeeding. So are you ready to go on this transformative journey? And I want to extend an invitation to the balancing act. So in the balancing act, you get to stand on business by identifying your core values. This phase is super, super important to me because, again, I talked about before how I saw this post where they were like, a lot of personal growth, personal development, all that stuff does not focus on taking care of yourself. It doesn't focus on self-love. It doesn't focus on how you view yourself and how you feel about yourself. So I'm very proud of phase 1 of the balancing act, because that is what we focus on. We focus on your core values, what actually matters the most to you. Because a lot of times what I find is that people are spending their time on other people's core values, and they've made other people's core values important to them, and then they're wondering why they don't feel fulfilled. They're wondering why they don't feel as if they're living the life that they planned for themselves. It's because you're living someone else's fulfillment. Other people have told you that marriage is important to them, so you've made it important to you. So now you're focused on finding a partner when really you want to travel the world. You could care less about marriage right now, but because that's what's been pushed on you, that's what you're prioritizing. The second part of this is reclaiming your time with mindful time management. I am not someone who believes in doing more. I am someone who believes in doing less but better. So I am very big on auditing time and seeing what things can come out of the time that you're using, and then how you can incorporate your core values into your day-to-day time. If family is a core value for you, how can you spend more time with your family every single week? If traveling is a core value for you, how can you travel once a month, once a quarter, twice a year, whatever your goal is? So whatever your core values are, we want to start aligning those core values with how you actually spend your time. In the third phase, we're talking about creating healthier habits and routines. So this training is actually what I do in the third phase of the program. And then I like to put this at the end, because before you can really stick to habits, before you can really create healthy routines and all that, you have to you have to know who you are. You have to know what works for you. You have to know what's important to you as a person. And you have to know what you're doing with your time now before you can implement new things into your time. Because you can say all day long, I want to go to the gym 2 times a week. But where does that fit into your schedule? Can you go to the gym before work? Can you go to the gym after work? Are you going to the gym during your break? Are you going to the gym at night? Like, how does that actually fit into your routines and your time? And so I like to do that part last. And then the most important part is that you're going to connect with your true self and create a balanced or harmonious, create a balanced and harmonious lifestyle. And this is so important, because again, so many people are feeling unfulfilled and feeling as if they are not able to really get to where they want to go in life. Is because you're not living your true self. You're not connected with your true self. You're not creating a lifestyle that actually aligns with who you are as a person. So in this coaching program, you're going to get long-term transformation. The goal here is that you are going to take what you learn in the coaching sessions and use it for the rest of your life. You're going to use it at work. You're going to use it with the kids. I have clients who, when they came in, one of their biggest struggles was that the kids' behavior, the kids weren't learning at school. And so I'm a big advocate. It's the parents' fault. It's the parents' fault. Like, if your kids aren't listening to you or listening to the teachers, that's your fault. You are their parent. You are their guide. You are their source. And so in our coaching sessions, we focus on how can you connect more with the kids. What can you do with them to learn more about them? What can you do with them in order to create respect between the two of you all? And then I see now that I have clients who they're traveling with their kids 2-3 times a year. They're going on solo dates with the kids. They're showing the kids where they have these better relationships with these kids. And we worked together 2 years ago. So it's like these are long-term transformations. You're also getting one-on-one coaching sessions. This is me and you talking, conversing. This is not a group setting. This is not a recorded. It's not a recorded coaching session. Then you watch it later on. This is one-on-one live coaching sessions. You also get a personalized curriculum. So I laid out the balancing act as I have like all the steps, all the tasks, everything laid out perfectly, but it's still personalized to you. So if you come in and your goal is, like, I have a client right now who really wants to get more in touch with who they are, because they feel like they lost a lot of years in their 20s. And I'm personalizing our work to focus more on like self-awareness, to focus more on learning who she is as a person and identifying who she is outside of being a mother, identifying who she is outside of being, well, she was a wife, she's getting a divorce, so outside of being a wife, like who are you when all these titles are stripped away from you. You also get access to resources. And so what I do with my clients, and because I'm currently building basically a academy, and so I'm building an academy full of resources, full of classes, full of things that you can use and study. Because again, I'm an educator. I like to educate. And so my clients get access to these resources as I build them, and for free. It's included with your sessions. You also get personalized feedback. So one of my clients is actually looking for a new job. She wants to get a higher paying job. So one of the things that I do is I'm like, okay, well, let's work on that resume. So send me your resume. I'll leave notes on your resume. I give personalized feedback on your goal setting. I give personalized feedback on any of the tasks that we do. I'm going to give you personalized feedback. So when we're identifying your core values, I'm going to be giving you personalized feedback about, I've heard you mention in our sessions how much you love to travel and how you would love to travel more, but then I'm not seeing that in your core values. I'm not seeing that in your goals. And also early bird pricing. So anytime if you're in my Facebook group, if you're on my email list, if you're subscribed to me, then you get early bird pricing. And in this case, early bird pricing is half off. So this is not a program where I'm expecting you to pay for the entire program up front. I understand realistically that that doesn't always work for people, and I feel like sometimes when you're paying for everything up front, when you're going to those individual one-on-one sessions, I don't feel like people are as willing to put in the work, even though they paid like a large chunk of money up front. So I chose to have the sessions, have the clients pay per session. So instead of $160 per session, they are half off at $80 per session. Of course, it's not going to last long. And this is only for, because I have 2 clients right now, this is only for the next 3 clients. So for the next 3 people that sign up, they will get this price of $80 per session. And then again, the Balance and Act is a wellness program that guides millennials from hustle culture to a balanced lifestyle in 3 essential phases. You're going to be standing on business by identifying your core values. You're going to reclaim your time with mindful time management, and you're going to create healthier habits and routines. And then again, this is my gift to my subscribers, my email list. If you're in the Balanced Millennial Facebook group, you will be able to get this for half off for the next 3 clients, because I'm accepting 5 clients right now. I already have 2. So for the next 3 clients, you could be able to get this half off. So you can always DM me the word reset. We can schedule a free consult. I do 30-minute consults called the Hustle to Harmony consult. And in that consult, we just go over what your biggest struggle is when it comes to balancing, and how I can help you get there. So I want to thank everyone that joined me today. Everyone in the Facebook group, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone on TikTok, thank you so much. If you have any questions, please send me a message at keytoyourgoals@gmail.com. Send me a DM on TikTok. Whatever you feel most comfortable doing, please make sure you reach out, because I would love to work with you. Again, I'm accepting 3 more clients at this time at the rate of $80 per session. And I would love for you all to join me. So if you have any questions, again, DM me, email me. I can never remember my number, but if I could, I'd give it to y'all. But thank you again. I'm going to stop sharing.